In December 2019, I started flying FPV drones, and it's probably the biggest challenge I've set for myself on this channel. And the fact that you only have to rely on your own skills, your own fingers, and not rely on any intelligent flight modes, any GPS, any helping systems that will facilitate your flying is what made it all so interesting and so intriguing for me to check out. But during these months of learning how to fly so I can capture cinematic footage because it's quite different, and learning how to do all of these different maneuvers that I was never able to do before, I made a lot of mistakes. I also learned quite a lot of things, and in today's video I'll be sharing a couple of these mistakes that I did and a couple of things that I wish I knew when I just started flying FPV. So hopefully, if you are just getting into FPV, this video will be helpful for you to avoid some of these mistakes and be aware what to do and what not to do. And something really exciting for today's video, we have a special guest. Ken Dono from Original Dobo is joining us for today's video. He's going to share a couple of his tips and mistakes that he has done ever since he started flying FPV a couple of months ago. And I really like the fact that more and more of the drone channels here on YouTube are starting to fly FPV as well, just so more people can learn how much fun that is, and hopefully more people will join the hobby as well. So I'll let Ken start with a couple of his tips and mistakes that he has done, and then I'll jump in with a couple of mine.
So crossing over from a camera drone to an FPV drone means you have to break bad habits. And there are things that maybe you have in your mind that you think is a good idea, but ultimately it doesn't correlate over to FPV whatsoever. And because of that, I made a lot of mistakes. Now, I don't have time in this video with Mike to go over all the mistakes I've made, but I'm going to go over the top 3 that I made personally that I wish I can go back and change today. Mistake number 1 was not building my own quad to start. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, why wouldn't I just buy a pre-built quad? I don't know if I'm going to like the hobby, and well, quite frankly, I don't know how to build. So here's the deal. If you want to get yourself a pre-built quad, just get yourself a Tiny Hawk or something super durable that is easy to learn on, and you can crash 100 times over and never have to worry about repairing it. The worst thing you're going to have to do is maybe replace a prop. When you step up to these guys and you buy pre-built drones, for starters, the components that they put into them aren't all that impressive, and you can honestly build a better quad for far less than you get pre-built. Secondly, unlike a camera drone, when you break a camera drone, you send it into DJI for repair, and you never see the process of them fixing it. But when you break one of these guys, you are responsible for fixing it, and you need to know how it got put together. So knowing how it went together will help you fix it in the future. It'll also make it easier to get your drone up in the air again. You won't have to wait on anybody to fix your drone. I've fixed this one probably about 5 times, and I've now built, I think, 12 quads since then, and I won't buy another pre-built quad because of that. My second mistake that I made was not taking time or forcing a repair or build when I really didn't need to. So what does that mean? Well, there's been times where I've been delirious, just super tired from flying or had a long day at work, and my parts all arrived for my drone and I'm so anxious to get it to put together, and I forced myself to sit down and build these quads. Now, when you build one of these, it can take 2 to 3 hours sometimes depending on what issues you have. And if you're not of a sound mind at the time, you could make mistakes and rush things and miss wiring. Oh, there's been several times where I've accidentally put the wrong voltage to the pad on the VTX and immediately smoked the VTX upon plugging it in. I've even gone as far as to accidentally not solder wires to my ground leads to the battery correctly. And when they got pulled off, they made contact with the frame and the positive, and up in flames it went. Like literally it set half of my backyard on fire. So it's really super important to take your time. There is no such thing as too much double checking. I don't know, is that a double? Yes, there's no such thing as double checking too much. Just double check all things and take your time. All right, and this last mistake has to do with flying. Like camera drones, when you fly them, they're sort of like a little more lethargic in the air. I don't feel like you're totally locked in to the flight like you are with an FPV. If I make a maneuver with my FPV drone, the controller is almost in real time. Everything you do is almost in real time. And I think this is one of the things that took me a little while to get used to. And oftentimes I would be going towards a gap and I would pull away from that gap really quickly because I was afraid that I wasn't going to make it. And sometimes I would hesitate on entering the gap and it would cause me to crash or hit a pillar or whatever the case may be. So what I've learned recently, in my mind, I'm just saying, send it. I'm just going to send it full, because if I hesitate or if I decide to pull back at the last moment, it could be catastrophic, as this quad could potentially crash. So the biggest thing is, if you are going for something, complete that action, get that follow through, and have confidence in what you are doing, and know that these things are incredibly agile and precise pieces of equipment, and that unlike a camera drone, it's going to be able to make it through certain gaps or pulls that you're pushing. So don't hesitate. That's the only thing I can say in that regard. And it took me such a long time to realize that. Another thing that really helped with the hesitation is flying in a simulator. Oftentimes when I'm flying in real life, I pretend I'm in a simulator because it makes me feel not so bad if this crashes, even though it's totally real and it can be quite expensive when you break things. But don't hesitate, just push it, and you're gonna get some great results. There you go. So those are the mistakes I've made personally. I want to thank Mike for allowing me to come on here to speak with you guys today. And yeah, if it wasn't for watching him and me being so jealous of him flying FPV, I don't think I would ever made the transition. But I'm honestly glad I did, but sad I did, because my bank account is so not happy right now. All right, guys. Stay original.
So that was really awesome from Ken. Thank you so much, Ken, for joining today's video and sharing all of these tips and mistakes that you have done. Make sure you go and follow Ken on his YouTube channel. His production quality is on point, and I'm really happy to see someone being so passionate about drones and FPV, sharing his knowledge for his followers to see. So make sure you support him and go and say hi. As you guys know, I started with a pre-built drone. It was the Titan DC-5 from iFlight. And even though it was a pre-built drone, just like Ken said, you always need to repair after some flights. You always need something to fix. You always need something to change. And for that, you need good tools. Honestly, I didn't even think about tools when I started FPV. I didn't think that would be that necessary. But with time, you start to realize how important these good tools are. So having a nice set of screwdrivers to open up your drone, having a nice desk and cutting mat for you to work on, having a nice charger for your batteries, they all come together, and these are important parts that normally when you start you don't think about. So my advice is, make sure you invest into some high quality pieces of equipment that will last you for a long time. If you're really serious about this hobby, you'll definitely need them. And I'm not sure how you say that in English. I'm not sure about the saying, but here in Bulgaria, we have this saying that goes something like this: don't go and buy cheap stuff because it gets really expensive. For me, it makes sense to not compromise on some aspects that are really important. You will probably spend a lot of time working on your quads, so why not invest into some high quality products that will last you for a long time instead of switching them up every couple of weeks or months. A mistake which I did when I just started flying FPV drones is that I immediately wanted to get some kick-ass cinematic footage on day one, which is just not possible. Even though I've spent quite a lot of hours on the simulator, it's just not the same. Flying in real life is very different from the simulator, and you cannot expect to be able to be that precise with a real quad on the first couple of flights. So make sure you gradually step up with these hard maneuvers that you want to do so badly, because on day one, you will probably just crash and break everything. I've always been fascinated with flying through small gaps and tight spaces. And when you're just starting out, you're not too sure, you're not too aware how the drone is moving in the environment. You're not too familiar with the controls, you're not too familiar how much you can actually push the drone. So it definitely takes time to build these skills. But once you feel more familiar with the controls, you start experimenting more and more. And that's my general advice. Feel free to experiment, but do it gradually. Don't go crazy on your first day and break everything. Another mistake which I did in the beginning was, because of the fact I really wanted to create those epic cinematic shots, I always flew with my GoPro strapped to my drone. I never flew without it, which is a big mistake, of course, because then you will fly a bit more cautiously, you'll be a bit more careful, and you will not risk it too much. And sometimes all you need to do is risk it a little bit. You need to forget about your gear and just go for that shot or for that maneuver that you're trying to achieve and see what happens. If your drone breaks, it breaks. But if you manage to pull it off, you already have this skill in your head and you will be able to repeat it, hopefully, with your GoPro on it. So in order to learn, you need to let go of your fears, you need to let go of the thought about breaking things, and you just need to send it. Honestly, I have to say that I'm still struggling with this last thing. I'm having trouble with letting my fears go completely and not care about my gear, because it's just the type of person that I am. I care about my gear. I'm not too happy when I break stuff. But for this hobby, it's just something that you have to deal with. It's going to happen, it's inevitable. But that's the main reason why I got myself a separate drone just for practicing. It's a racing drone, it's extremely quick, but that's the point. It's something that allows me to go crazy and practice new things, and if it breaks, then I'll just repair it and move forward. And finally, pick the right drone for you. Maybe you need a Cinewhoop to fly close to people, fly through small gaps, or very close to certain objects. Maybe you need a freestyle, so you can combine flying quickly with doing some nice flips and rolls. Or you need a racing drone to race with your friends or follow very fast moving objects like drift cars or motorbikes. These drones all have different purposes, so it's important for you to know what you're going to use your FPV drone for, figure out what you need exactly, and then just go ahead and buy it or build it. It's up to you, but then just take advantage of your gear and use it for your maximum gain. And there you guys have it. I hope these things that you learned in today's video will be useful for you if you plan to start with FPV now in 2020 or maybe next year. They are still going to be valid. So I want to thank Ken for joining me for today's video. Once again, don't forget to follow him on his YouTube channel. Don't forget to drop a like if you have enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. Take care everyone, and I'll see you in my next one. Ciao.